Welcome back to Cozy English Corner. I am your host, Alex. It is a brisk, gray Tuesday morning here in Columbus, Ohio. The wind coming off the Olentangy River is sharp today, reminding us that winter is right around the corner. Today, I'm joined by Valerie. Valerie used to work as a corporate accountant, but she left that behind to open a bakery down in the Short North Arts District. Valerie, thank you for being here. How are you holding up?
Thank you for having me, Alex. To be completely honest, I am quite exhausted. We have a massive Ohio State football game this weekend, and I spent the entire night preparing inventory. The ovens kept malfunctioning, the supplier kept calling to change our delivery times, and I just kept telling myself to push through. By the time I locked the doors, it was past 3 in the morning.
That sounds incredibly stressful, Valerie. The pressure of running a small business in this economy is something that keeps a lot of people awake at night. But as you were speaking, I noticed something fascinating about your word choices.
Really? What did I say? I am running on so little sleep that I am not entirely sure I am forming coherent sentences right now.
You are doing perfectly fine. You used the word kept 3 times in just a few seconds. You said the ovens kept malfunctioning, the supplier kept calling, and you kept telling yourself to push through.
Oh, you are right. I did use that word a lot without even thinking about it.
That is exactly what we are discussing today. For English learners, the word keep is incredibly versatile, but it is often misunderstood. Learners usually prefer words like continue or maintain, which are technically correct, but can sound a bit rigid in normal conversation.
I understand that completely. If I had said, the supplier continuously called me, it would sound like I was writing a formal business report rather than sharing my personal frustration.
Precisely. The word keep bridges the gap between formal English and natural human connection. To simplify it, keep generally operates in 3 specific ways. The first is continuing an action. The second is remaining in a specific state. The third is holding on to something.
That structure makes sense. How do listeners know which meaning is being applied in a sentence?
It is all about the grammar that directly follows the word. If keep is followed by a verb ending in ing, it means to continue doing an action. This is the version you used earlier. Kept malfunctioning, kept calling.
I see. So if I say, I keep worrying about my bakery's rent, the ing on worrying tells you that this is an action I am repeating over and over.
Yes, and let us pause on that example, because it touches on a very real pain point. Many of us keep worrying about things we cannot control at 3 a.m. There is actually a psychological reason for this.
Wait, really? I always thought it was just because I drank too much coffee during my afternoon shift.
Coffee plays a role, certainly, but it is called the Zeigarnik effect. In the 1920s, a psychologist named Bluma Zeigarnik discovered that the human brain remembers uncompleted tasks much better than completed ones. That is why your brain keeps thinking about the emails you did not send rather than the ones you did.
That is fascinating. So my brain keeps punishing me by bringing up the incomplete inventory list precisely because it is incomplete.
Exactly. You use the pattern again. Keeps punishing and bringing up. You are naturally describing repeated involuntary actions.
What about the second meaning? You mentioned remaining in a specific state. How does that work in a sentence?
For the second meaning, keep is followed by an adjective. Think of phrases like keep quiet, keep safe, or keep warm. It implies maintaining a condition against outside forces.
Like how we Midwesterners tell each other to keep warm from November until April. The outside force is the unpredictable Ohio weather.
Exactly. When you tell a friend in Columbus to keep warm as they walk out into the snow, you are telling them to actively maintain their body heat and protect their health.
I notice we also say keep quiet when we want someone to remain silent. It feels much more gentle than telling someone to shut up.
Yes, keep quiet focuses on the preservation of a peaceful state. The keep plus adjective structure is often used for protective measures. Parents tell children to keep still at the doctor's office, We tell each other to keep safe during difficult times.
That makes complete sense. So, we have covered continuing an action with an ing verb and remaining in a state with an adjective. What is the third primary meaning?
The third meaning is about possession, holding on to something or not giving it away. Here, keep is followed by a noun. For example, keep the change or keep a secret.
Keep a secret. That is a heavy one. When someone asks you to keep a secret, it is not just about possessing information. It often feels like a burden you have to carry.
You hit on something profound there, Valerie. The physical feeling of a burden is not just your imagination. This brings us to another fascinating piece of human psychology.
Do not tell me science has proven that secrets actually weigh us down.
Actually, it has. Researchers at Columbia University, led by Michael Slepian, found that keeping a major secret acts as a physical weight on your brain. When participants who were keeping big secrets were asked to judge the steepness of a hill, they perceived the hill as significantly steeper than people who were not holding secrets.
That is absolutely terrifying. So when we choose to keep a secret, we are literally exhausting our physical energy.
Precisely. The cognitive effort required to ensure you do not reveal the information drains your mental resources. This is why we also say, keep your promise, or keep your word. Holding on to these commitments requires real emotional strength.
It makes me view these everyday phrases very differently. We throw around the word keep casually, but it often involves a lot of hidden labor.
Guiding the conversation. It certainly does. Now that we understand the three main grammatical patterns, verb with ing, adjective, and noun, let us examine some common phrases that use keep in slightly more complex ways.
Are you referring to expressions like keep in touch or keep up with?
Exactly. Let us start with keep up with. This means to move at the same pace as someone or something, to avoid falling behind. Valerie, in your bakery business, what do you struggle to keep up with?
Lately, the cost of ingredients. Inflation has been brutal. The price of butter and flour changes so rapidly that I can barely keep up with my own expenses.
That is a perfect, though difficult, example. When you say you cannot keep up with the expenses, you are expressing the financial and emotional anxiety of things moving faster than your resources allow.
Yes, it feels like running on a treadmill that keeps speeding up. People also use it for society, right? Trying to keep up with trends or keeping up with the news.
Absolutely. Information fatigue is a real issue today. Many people admit they simply cannot keep up with the constant cycle of breaking news. It is exhausting.
What about keep track of? As an accountant turned business owner, I feel like my entire life is based on keeping track of things.
Keep track of means to monitor something or record information about it accurately over time. You keep track of your inventory, your receipts, and your employees' schedules.
And yet, ironically, the one thing I fail to keep track of is my own health and sleep schedule. When you are focused on keeping a business alive, personal care is often the first thing you lose track of.
That is a powerful observation. Notice how you naturally use the opposite phrase there, lose track of. We keep track of our money, but we lose track of time when we are exhausted.
I suppose language really reflects our priorities and our struggles. It is not just rules on a page.
That is the core philosophy of Cozy English Corner. Language is the tool we use to navigate human suffering, joy, and connection. Let us look at an encouraging phrase. Keep an eye on.
Oh, I tell my staff to keep an eye on the croissants all the time. It means to watch something carefully so it does not burn or get ruined.
Yes, but it extends beyond literal watching. If you have an elderly neighbor during a harsh Ohio winter storm, you might keep an eye on them. It means checking in, ensuring they are safe. It is an act of community care.
I like that. It softens the phrase. Instead of sounding like a security camera, it sounds like Midwestern neighborliness.
Midwestern neighborliness is a great way to put it. We have covered a lot of ground today. Let us do a brief summary for our listeners who are keeping notes.
I will try to summarize. First, keep plus an ing verb means to continue an action, like keeping working even when you are exhausted.
Correct. And remember the Zeigarnik effect. Our brain keeps bringing up unfinished tasks.
Second, keep plus an adjective means to remain in a certain state, like trying to keep warm during a Columbus winter, or trying to keep calm during a busy shift.
Spot on. And the third structure?
Third is keep plus a noun, representing possession or holding on to something, like keeping a secret, which, as you taught me, actually carries a physical, psychological weight.
Excellent summary, Valerie. We also touched on vital phrases, keeping up with expectations, keeping track of time, and keeping an eye on our neighbors.
Learning it this way makes the English language feel much less like a textbook exercise and more like a tool for survival and connection.
That is the ultimate goal. Before we wrap up, I want to leave our listeners with one final, deeply important use of this word. Keep going.
Keep going. We say that a lot when things are difficult, do we not?
We do. Many of our listeners are facing massive challenges. They are learning a new language, adapting to new cultures, and facing economic pressures that are difficult to articulate. When you feel that exhaustion, the same exhaustion Valerie feels after baking all night, the only option is to keep going. Progress in language, just like progress in life, is about small, repeated actions. You keep trying.
That really resonates with me today, Alex. Even when you cannot see the immediate results, the consistency matters. You have to keep showing up.
Exactly. To our listeners, we want to hear from you. In the comments section, tell us what you are trying to keep up with right now, or what you plan to keep doing despite the difficulties. We read every single comment, and we deeply value your stories.
Thank you for having me, Alex. This conversation actually gave me the energy I need to go back to the bakery and keep working.
It was a privilege, Valerie. Thank you for sharing your truth with us. And to everyone listening out there, stay warm, take care of yourselves, and keep learning. We will see you in the next episode of Cozy English Corner.